to 83% of overweight or obese patients have diabetes. It is this visceral fat which is responsible for insulin resistance, which in turn causes diabetes. The globalization, I call it McDonaldization of India. That's led us to become obese. We don't exercise, there's lack of physical activity, and it's the stress. These three things have brought diabetes to the forefront, and India is unfortunately the capital of diabetes in the world.
My weight just kept on increasing, about 5 kilos a year. Then at the age of 15, I discovered I had type 2 diabetes. And I was on insulin 3 times a day. I was also on medication. It was controlled, but not completely.
By the time someone develops diabetes, 50% of the insulin within the beta cells of the pancreas is lost. And every year, patient continues to lose another 3 to 5%. At the end of maybe 20 years, the patient is left with no insulin within the system and is dependent only on insulin.
I am a diabetic for the last 20 years.
मेरे को 18 यूनिट्स सुबह लेनी पड़ती थी इंसुलिन की और 21 यूनिट्स मेरे को शाम को लेनी पड़ती थी। आपको इंसुलिन हरदम कैरी करनी है अपने साथ। कभी कभी शुगर फॉल डाउन भी हो जाती है आपकी इंसुलिन लेते लेते। तो ऑल दिस थिंग्स वाज जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ ओबेसिटी।
India and Asia, genetically we are coded for obesity as well as for diabetes, ultimately which leads to cardiac problems and the kidney problems and the brain hemorrhages and things like that.
Obesity controlled Jitin's life. The excess weight brought with it diabetes and a plethora of other complications.
मेरे को ओबेसिटी की वजह से डायबिटीज़ भी हो गया। डायबिटीज़ हुआ तो मेरी फास्टिंग शुगर 366 थी और नॉर्मल मेरी पीपी 400 रहती थी। मेरे को 18 यूनिट सुबह लेनी पड़ती थी इंसुलिन की और 21 यूनिट्स मेरे को शाम को लेनी पड़ती थी। उसके बाद भी मेरे पैरों में स्वेलिंग रहती थी एंड मैं सारा दिन लेथार्जिक रहता था। आई यूज टू ले डाउन ऑल द टाइम। मैं वॉक नहीं कर सकता। डॉक्टर कहता था कि वॉक करो ड्यू टू बट ओबेसिटी मैं वॉक नहीं कर पाता था। रात को यूरिन बहुत पास होता था, तो इसी वजह से रात को आई कुड नॉट स्लीप प्रॉपर्ली। और इंसुलिन पेनफुल भी रहती है लेनी, कभी स्टमक पे लो, कभी आर्म पे लो, जहाँ पर भी लो तो प्रॉब्लम होती है आपको इंसुलिन हरदम कैरी करनी है अपने साथ। कभी कभी शुगर फॉल डाउन भी हो जाती है आपकी इंसुलिन लेते लेते। तो ऑल दिस थिंग्स वाज जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ ओबेसिटी। उसके बाद मेरे को डायबिटीज़ ओबेसिटी की वजह से मेरे को 2 बार पैनक्रेटिस का अटैक भी हुआ। उसके बाद अराउंड 1 वीक मैं हॉस्पिटलाइज रहा, ग्लूकोज रहता था। आई वॉज ऑन कम्प्लीट लिक्विड डाइट। उसके बाद डॉक्टर सेड कि आपको शॉर्ट मील्स लेनी है, बट मैं ले नहीं पाता शॉर्ट मील्स ड्यू टू माई प्रोफेशन एंड ऑल दिस स्टफ। मेरे को लार्ज मील्स लेने पड़ते थे। उसके बाद दोबारा पैनक्रेटिस का अटैक हुआ, तो उसके बाद मेरा वेट और गेन हो गया।
Obesity not only hampered his health, but it took a heavy toll on his work and personal life.
मैं एडवोकेट हूँ बाय प्रोफेशन। मैं जब कोर्ट में आपको खड़ा रहना पड़ता था सारा दिन, बट मैं नहीं खड़ा रह पाता। उसकी वजह से मेरा वर्क बहुत ज़्यादा सफ़र करता है। कई क्लाइंट्स फाइल वापस ले जाते हैं कि वकील साहब आप आते नहीं कोर्ट के अंदर। तो मेरा वर्क प्रेशर भी बहुत ज़्यादा है और ओबेसिटी की वजह से मैं अपना काम भी नहीं कर पाता, ना कंसंट्रेट कर पाता हूँ, क्योंकि आपको माइंड में फ्रस्ट्रेशन इतनी रहती है कि आप कुछ कर ही नहीं पा रहे, आप नॉर्मल लाइफ नहीं लीड कर पा रहे। कुछ खाने के लिए रखो सामने तो वाइफ उठा के ले जाती है कि आपने नहीं खाना है सब। फिर फ्रस्ट्रेशन होती है, फिर लड़ाई होती है। ओबेसिटी से आपको बहुत सारी डिफ़िकल्टीज आती है फैमिलीज़ में भी। आपकी मैरिड लाइफ ठीक नहीं रहती, आप इतने लेजी रहते हो कि हरदम ना बच्चे को टाइम दे पाते हो, ना घर पे टाइम दे पाते हो, बस होते रहो। तो अल्टीमेटली मैंने डिसाइड किया कि मेरे को अपना वेट कम करना है। बट मेरे को वे आउट नहीं समझ नहीं आ रहा, क्या कैसे कम करूँ, क्या ना करूँ। डाइट कंट्रोल भी करी, सब कुछ करा, बट हेल्पलेस हूँ मैं। The more I tried to lose my weight, the more I gained my weight.
When there are no insulin reserves in the body, what do? You only give insulin from outside. Well, that takes care of the sugars but gives you weight. So it's a vicious circle where you're trying to treat diabetes, keep your sugars under control, but at the cost of adding more weight to the body. Now, this is the weight which is atherogenic, which is dyslipidemic, and which causes insulin resistance. That further augments the diabetes.
Every day, Dr. A.S.N. Rao goes to work and witnesses both the physical and mental toll obesity has on his patients. A year ago, he was one of them.
My mother was very obese, so I was putting on weight effortlessly. Every year I was gaining 1 kilo. In the year 1998 I was 98, so I was worried. I started doing exercise and dieting, and I was very strict in my diet. In spite of all these things, I was my weight was not coming down. I could only reduce 5 kilos, 93. And I am a diabetic for the last 20 years. And the oral anti-diabetic agents, they kept on increasing. Previously I was taking 1 drug, gradually it went to 4 drugs, and the dosage of the drugs was also increasing. And in spite of all the oral hypoglycemic agents, my diabetes was not controlled. So I was put on insulin, and first I was given 12 units of insulin, and gradually the insulin doses that also kept on increasing. It went to up to 40 units.
If you label a patient as a patient of diabesity, that means if you control the weight, then the chances of his diabetic resolution or a very good control or a desired control with minimum possible medications and may not need insulin at all is what we desire as a clinical outcome in those patients.
Leena's story was no different. Diabesity had taken over her life. She was struggling to get rid of the excessive weight. She was desperate to lose some inches and lead a normal life.
वेट ने मुझे हाइपरटेंशन की प्रॉब्लम्स दी, डायबिटीज़, एंड डिपेंडेंट, ऐसा फ्रस्ट्रेशन सी होती थी, ऐसा लगता था कि बस मैं डिपेंडेंट हो गई बिल्कुल भी, और तो ब्रेथलेसनेस होती थी, बहुत ज़्यादा होता था, कुछ काम नहीं कर पाते थे, लेग पेन होती थी, बैक पेन, उसकी वजह से बहुत ज़्यादा फ्रस्ट्रेशन सी, इरिटेशन सी भी होती थी। यही था कि बस वेट लूज़ करना है, और मैंने काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें ट्राई की थी, बट कुछ भी फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता था, वेट कम नहीं होता था। यही था कि किसी भी तरह से वेट कम हो, और जो वेट की वजह से डिसीज़ शुरू हो गई हैं, ये सब ठीक हो सकें, और मैं इंडिपेंडेंट रह सकूं।
The excessive body fat puts increased pressure on the body's ability to use insulin to properly control the blood sugar level. This leads to increased blood sugar levels and in turn leads to other complications like kidney disease, blindness, heart disease and even amputations. Jitin's life was riddled with obesity and type 2 diabetes. And it was time for a transformation.
मैंने सब कुछ ट्राई कर लिया अपनी लाइफ में. मैंने वॉक करके देख ली, डाइट कंट्रोल करके देख ली, बस नथिंग इज़ हेल्पिंग आउट. मेरी शुगर भी बढ़ती जा रही है डे बाय डे, मेरा वेट भी बढ़ता जा रहा है. तो अल्टीमेटली मैंने डिसाइड किया कि मैं ऑपरेशन कराऊंगा.
If we have a level of diabesity in any patient, that means that we have to not only control diabetes, but we have to control the weight also. So if the BMI with diabetes is more than 32.5 or above, then it becomes very difficult. Almost 95-98% patients will not be able to reduce this weight in presence of diabetes. For that, the bariatric surgery, or now what we call that a metabolic surgery, that is what comes into play. And I feel strongly they should consult a bariatric units and bariatric surgeons and bariatric centers.
In October 2016, Jitin decided to go for bariatric surgery, hoping to improve his quality of life.
मैं होप करता हूँ मेरे ऑपरेशन के बाद मैं अपनी फैमिली को टाइम दे पाऊँगा, उनका एंजॉय कर पाऊँगा, सोशल गैदरिंग में जा पाऊँगा. आई विल बी एक्सेप्टेबल फॉर देम ऑल्सो. और जहाँ जो डायबिटीज़ 2 से प्रॉब्लम होती हैं वो सब भी क्योर हो जाएंगी.
Dr. Pradeep Chaube performed gastric bypass, a favorable technique for patients with diabetes.
A gastric bypass is found to be more effective for diabetes and diabetic patients as compared to the gastric sleeve. In gastric bypass, what we do is laparoscopically, we make a small pouch of stomach by stapling. So instead of having a large bag of stomach for storage of the food, we create a small storage for the food. This small pouch is connected to a small intestine, first part of the small intestine, and we bypass, the food goes into the gastric pouch and then goes to the intestine. And that is why we call it as a bypass surgery, because the food is not going to the big stomach and the first part of intestine. So the advantage is that when this small pouch dilates, when somebody is eating food, of course it gets filled up and sends the signal to the brain that the appetite is taken care of and there is a sense of satiety.
To reduce the procedure time whilst ensuring patient safety, Medtronic has launched a comprehensive set of energy tools for use in the bariatric procedure. These tools help the surgeon not only get better control, but also help improve clinical outcomes post the bariatric procedure.
Be it through advanced technological products, surgeries, or patient-centric programs, we at Medtronic live our mission in everything that we do. Alleviate pain, restore health, and extend life. We recognize that no single entity can independently transform the healthcare system. Therefore, we are actively collaborating with healthcare delivery partners and the government in India to take quality healthcare further together.
After a successful surgery, Jitin started walking the same day and was ready to live a life without his fear of weight.
All the bariatric surgeries are done laparoscopically, so there is no opening up of the abdomen. These patients are walking almost on the same day of operation, and within a day or two after the operation they are back to work, and within a week or 10 days they are back to their jobs. Bariatric surgery and metabolic surgery is basically a life-saving surgery. It enhances the quality of life and also the quantity. The persons with overweight if their overweight is just 10 kg extra, the lifespan reduces by 3 years. That means if somebody is 50 kilogram extra, that 15 years of the life gets shortened. So we must understand that it is not a cosmetic surgery at all, as people consider, because our aim is to bring them from a diseased stage of morbid obesity and diabetes to a normal stage of a non-diabetic or non-diabetes or a normal weighing person.
Bariatric surgery is a very good answer for type 2 diabetes in individuals. So we see a reduction of again almost 75 to 80% of cases with diabetes. If the diabetes is less than 5 years, we see almost 100% resolution rate.
For the three of them, bariatric surgery gave them a new lease of life which wasn't possible otherwise.
After 1 month of my post surgery, there are no complications at all. I am leading a healthy life. Now I am not taking any medicine of diabetes, cholesterol. My medicines are gone, not taking any insulin. My sugar is under control. I am reducing my weight. I can walk around and I am mentally fit. I am not under depression, not fighting with my family and my kid. Now after surgery, I have lost near around 10 to 15 kgs, and now I can fit in all the brand clothes which I always wanted to. Now I go with my wife and my daughter for shopping, and I am very happy that I have just the clothes I wanted to wear that I can fit into.
All the time he was irritated before surgery, but now he is happy. I think I am living with somebody else because वो personality नहीं है जो पहले थी.
After my surgery, I have reduced about 27 kilos, and my diabetes is totally controlled. I am off insulin. The most happy thing is that I am off insulin, and I need not prick my abdomen daily.
After the surgery, तो एक तरह से मिराकल ही हो गया. 1 महीने में जब वेइंग स्केल लेफ़्ट की तरफ जा रहा था तो बहुत अच्छा लग रहा था कि इतना ज़्यादा मोटिवेशन था कि ये तो सच में कुछ चमत्कार ही है. फर्स्ट मंथ में मैंने 9 kg रिड्यूस किया था, तो वो देख के मुझे बहुत ही ज़्यादा अच्छा लगता था. अंदर से खुश होती थी. ऐसे लगता था कि मैं सबको बताऊं कि देखो मेरा वेट कम हो रहा है, कि वेइंग स्केल लेफ़्ट की तरफ जा रहा है. बहुत अच्छा लगता था.
I was ashamed of sitting in a bariatric OPD because of my overweight. I used to send my juniors, you sit there and get patients, I will operate them. So after my bariatric surgery, I feel proud. I feel proud to sit in a bariatric OPD, and I tell my patients that, see, I myself have undergone bariatric surgery and my life has changed. Why don't you change your lifestyle?
It might not be a quick fix, but with bariatric surgery, you get back the control over your weight and the control over your life.